Suppose, you need to print a message saying hello to your friend. In Python, to print just one line you just need a print statement and your message will get printed perfectly. But, let's say you need to print such type of message for 4 different persons with including their name in the message. Still it can be done by the print statement, but this is not a good approach from coding point of view, as same codes are repeated multiple times, making it time consuming. To solve such types of problem we have functions in Python, where we can use same code again and again for different person. We use definite keyword while writing a function followed by the function name. Functions involves a block of code which could be used for multiple parameters as we pass while calling the functions. It can be called as many times as you want. It does not directly gets executed, we need to call the function. A function is a block of code that only runs when it is called. A function helps avoiding code repetition. A function can return data as a result. As we already saw one example for function. You can either pass some values as a parameter or you can have function without parameter. Information or values that are passed into a functions inside parentheses or small brackets are called arguments. Arguments are specified after the function name, inside the parentheses. We can add as many arguments as we want, just need to separate them by comma. The terms parameter and argument can be used for the same thing, that is, information that are passed into a function. A parameter is the variable listed inside the parentheses in the function definition. As an example, you can see the name variable in the for function greeting is a parameter, whereas an argument is the actual value that is sent to the function when it is called. For example, the following values that are passed while calling the function greeting like Raghav, Mohan, Suresh are arguments. Let's proceed with another example where we will write a function with 2 parameters, name and age. You can assign default values to parameters. If the function is called without an argument, it uses the default value. For example, if here we will not pass the value of age, then it will take age as 20 by default. But, if we will pass the value of age, let's say as 32, then it will consider the argument value 32 as age. Same thing, you can also set the default value for name parameter as well. Now if we will pass some values as arguments, then it will consider the passed value, but if we will not give any value, then it will use the default value name as Amit and age as 20. We can use as many parameters as we want. We can even pass list, tuples, sets or dictionaries as arguments. Let's see one example. Till now we saw functions that did not return anything. Now let's see function that returns some value. Functions can return values using the return statement. Let's see one more example for function returning values. This time the function will take a number and return its multiplication table in a list. We will store the multiplication values inside a list called table and we will return it. Return function does not print the value, rather it will give a list with stored value and we can use that value as per our need. Here, we will store the returned list in a variable list called mynum. And later print the values of the list using for loop. Since the value is starting from 0 onwards, so we need to set the range starting from 1. The args parameter allows a function to accept any number of positional arguments. If you do not know how many arguments will be passed into a function, add a asterisk before the parameter name. This way, the function will receive a tuple of arguments and can access the items accordingly. Let's understand in a better way with some examples. Here args is of type tuple. It is not necessary that we have to use only args. We can use any name instead. You can combine regular parameters with args. Regular parameters must come before args. Here, as you can see, we are using high argument for greetings parameter. Let's see one more example for args. With this example, we will return the sum of the numbers. Next we have kwargs after args. The kwargs parameter allows a function to accept any number of keyword arguments. Inside the functions, kwargs becomes a dictionary containing all the keyword arguments. Let's understand with example. The kwargs are imported as dictionary in the form of key-value pairs. We can use any placeholders in the place of kwargs. You can use both args and kwargs in the same function. The order must be regular parameters, then args, then kwargs. If you have values stored in a list, you can use asterisk to unpack them into individual arguments. Let's see how. As you will see, when we'll try to access the values of the list, because the list is unpacked, it will consider the entire list as one item and we cannot access the list items through indexes. So, while parsing we need to unpack the list by giving asterisk symbol. Similarly, if you have keyword arguments stored in a dictionary, you can use double asterisk to unpack them. First, see the limitation of passing the arguments directly without unpacking it. As you will see, when we'll try to access the values through key of this dictionary, it will throw error because we haven't unpacked it. As mentioned, we need to give double asterisk symbol to unpack it. That's all for today. Hope I was able to make you understand the concepts easily. If so, please subscribe to this channel and like this video. Leave your suggestions in the comments. I will see you in the next video. Bye.